Welcome to Wheel Stutter Blindly. I'm Wheel.
I'm Stutter.
And I'm Blindly.
How's it going, everybody?
Good. How you doing, Jared?
Good, great.
Quite
I'm alive. I'm good.
I'm just living.
Wonderful.
That's like the worst part of boyhood.
I'm
just living. That's good
I'm
enough
just
for me.
living, baby. And don't forget, welcome to the podcast. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And check us out on... where can we check it out? I can't say that right now.
Patreon.
Patreon. That's the word.
Hit the button.
That was funny. I kind
Today,
of
Junior.
Check it out.
Promo Patreon.
Patreon.
Anyway, you guys good?
I'm great.
Yeah?
You good?
Yeah, all good. My, so...
What happened to you this weekend?
Sunday.
Something's...
Yeah, Sunday my wife, Jen, got a black eye.
Ooh.
What happened was she was playing with Rigby, my dog, and he had his, he had a toy, and he, like, shook his head, and he hit her right in the eye, and went black, like, right away. The shitty thing was she was just getting ready to leave for, like, some sort of women's luncheon.
Oh, shit.
Women empowerment.
So it's a business thing.
Oh, shit.
Like, it was, like, she was leaving, like, 15 minutes
Oh, shit. Timing, baby. Timing.
Poor Jen. So she's getting better, I imagine. I think it looks fine to me, so whatever.
She stayed home that day.
Well, yeah, she couldn't. She had to go to her conference.
She couldn't go to the conference.
Well, she went, and then
She went to the conference?
She went, and all her meetings were on Zoom, so all I hear all day is, oh, yeah, my husband got a dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
There is no way for a woman to describe how she got a black eye innocently and have it sound innocent.
No.
It sounds terrible no matter what.
And people always think you're involved.
Of course.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm standing behind her going, you say the dog did it.
Don't blame the dog, bitch.
So when I was growing up, my mother would do the same thing. Lay down after dinner, have a nap on the couch. She would get up. And do you remember those big old floor model TVs, right?
Yeah, console models.
She would hit her leg off it, her shin off of it, her hip off of it.
Yeah.
When she woke up in a little bit of a daze. And my mother bruised easy, so there was like bruises on her legs and stuff. Yeah. Well, my father at the time hung around a lot of individuals that rode motorcycles and wore leather jackets with pictures on the back.
Okay.
When you say my father at the time, he was your father at the time?
At the time, his father...
Oh, at the time your father did this.
At the time, his father was associated with 1%.
Anyways. Grammar.
Grammar.
So, we were sitting in the backyard. I was young. I was like 5 or 6. And one of the guys looked at my mother and said, you seem to have an awful lot of bruises on your leg. And my mom, being my mom, said, oh yeah, Ron beats me. And I saw in an instant 5 of these bikers grab a hold of my father.
That's why he was your father at the time, because he's dead now.
Yeah.
Lift him. Yeah, well, he
your
is.
Mom,
technically, he is dead. But anyways.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Well, anyways, who cares? He was a piece of shit. But he gets thrown up against the wall. And anyways, I thought my father was going to die by the hands of bikers.
Was it a particular biker gang or just a bunch of bikers?
It was, yeah, they were a gang, or allegedly.
Yeah. They were a cluster of bikers.
Highway of Angels?
Hex Angels.
It doesn't matter. That's not part of the story.
All right.
They were Christian bike riders.
Ah!
Toys for Todd.
Did they have a choice?
No choice.
Never mind. Okay.
I have a choice to say no comment.
No comment. All right.
It's better if you know nothing.
Oh, should we mention one thing?
What?
I don't know if this is stereotypical or not, but Dante got his haircut. Probably looks great.
I didn't get my haircut.
Or your hair done. You said you're getting your hair done at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said...
not a haircut.
Whatever. Getting his hair done.
Yeah.
I said 9. I said, I don't want to... I've seen barbershop. How long will it take? Thinking that was funny. And then you said, maybe 1?
Yeah. So I didn't get it cut. I got my hair... I have dreadlocks.
Oh, okay.
So my hair's long. So
you're getting that done.
Yeah, I was getting it retwisted.
And that takes some time.
That takes a while. So yeah,
Your
it's
head
not
twisted.
Are you black?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Last time I checked, which was about
Not joking.
Well,
a few months ago.
The Jewish dreadlocks don't. That's not a good
So-
look.
Jewish dreadlocks.
Can
not
I
a good
ask
look.
you that? What about these people that walk around screaming with white guys with dreads?
Oh.
That's culture appropriation. What do you think of that?
Well, I'll
And
say
the
this
Dutch
because
braids.
when I used to work corporate, there was this white guy and he had dreads,
Mhm.
and I thought it was the weirdest thing. But he was like, he took being a Rastafari the most serious.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, we had to like log into this particular VPN, and he was the guy that he was like an IT guy because he
Yeah.
used to work IT. So he programmed the VPN login to show the lion every single time that you log into the VPN, and he like did it in like ASCII text.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
what I mean? So he
Yeah.
did like a Rastafari line with the colors and everything. But that's that one particular guy. To be honest, I don't really care. If you're a white person with dreads, I don't care. But a lot of time it does look a little bit crusty.
Oh,
Talk
They
about-
don't shower for weeks.
it does look dirty.
You
It
ever-
does look dirty.
Have you ever heard so Eddie Murphy tells a lot of stories about hanging out with Dick Cavett in the 70s.
Okay.
Who's hilarious, like really cheesy 70s talk show host. But he
Yeah.
would do dares, whatever Eddie Murphy dared him to do, he would do it. Mm-hmm. So Eddie Murphy was on SNL and Dick Cavett stopped by and what's that guy's name? Eddie Grant, Walk Right Through Electric Avenue, that song,
Okay.
was a musical artist. He's Jamaican. And he's like a big Jamaican guy with dreads, and
Yeah.
all his band has dreads. And Dick Cavett said to Eddie Murphy, how do they keep their hair like that? And Eddie Murphy said, they use goat shit. Go ask them. And
Yeah.
Dick Cavett went in and said, is it true you guys use goat shit to keep your hair
He
like that?
punched him?
And the guy's like, what? And he said, that's what Eddie told me. And it's like, oh.
Nice. Nice.
No, it just stays that way by itself. Like you twist it and
Yeah.
then it stays twisted. So that's why they call it locks, because it's locked.
It's locked.
It looks fresh.
It does look. But
Can
to
I
be
say
honest,
fresh?
why can't you say fresh?
I don't know. Something like
Hey, talking about produce?
Don't dye it though, like Vladdy. I didn't like that.
Vladdy?
Yeah, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Remember, he had dreads,
blonde.
but he
I don't know who
dyed
that
them
is.
blonde.
That can't look good.
No, I don't plan on dyeing it, but
Nice.
yeah, no. I just want to leave them as is.
Nice.
You know, I don't want to subscribe
Natural.
to this cultural norm that we have to get our hair cut every 3 weeks and pay the man.
I cut my own hair, damn it.
Yeah.
Ain't
Good.
nobody.
I tried cutting my own hair a couple times. Didn't work out so well.
No one would imagine what.
And yeah, a whole different thing. No, but
I used to
I-
be able to do it.
I took edibles.
With the set cut.
You guys take edibles?
I have.
I
don't
used
take
to.
them anymore.
I've heard of them.
I like edibles when I'm on them because they make me feel relaxed. So then I can't speak very well.
Then
And
you
I
start
call up Blair, and then he tells me, "Oh, you're speaking so slow," and then I hear myself speak, and it's kind of like I'm not stuttering. Why am I not stuttering?
Drugs are good.
Well,
And you have a whole highness of like I'm not stuttering. I'm a imposter. I can't go on stage like this.
I want my
People are
stutter
gonna think
back.
I'm a fake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay, so
his Blair's take.
I was sober when he called.
As you tend to
Jared
be these
was
days.
on a lot of edibles.
Can I
this
ask
point.
what the dosage was? Do you?
I took
know?
a 50.
1.5?
I took 50.
Oh, 50.
So I think it was a couple of gummies
Stuck together.
attached. So I don't know how many 50s I took.
Okay.
I took like 4 circles or something. It was fun.
Yeah, that could do it.
And I'm like, okay, let's just see what happens.
The best way to explain it would be if you've ever heard a turtle stutter.
He was talking like Morgan Freeman.
Because
was talking really slow.
he was like,
Hey, bro.
He thought
Look
of
at the
something
turtle
funny, and he
go.
thought of a bit, and he's like,
All right.
made
I get it.
funny
We
in
get
my
it,
head.
We get it. We get it. We get it.
It was so funny in my head.
you, and just slurred and hammered and the whole bit. And then, like, you know, after about 2 minutes, he's like, "Do you think that's funny?" I'm like, "I don't have
I know what you said.
fucking clue
I thought you were the guy
what
from.
you said." I'm
It
like,
was hilarious.
Is that Alice in
Jared,
Wonderland? Who are you?
"You're really fucking high right now."
I had a whole plot. If I wrote like a normal, if somebody in, I could make somebody kill Tony famous just by writing them jokes.
Okay.
And like, it'd be funny if a handicapped person writes able-bodied jokes and they get famous and it's just me right behind them.
Ghostwriter.
You're the ghost
I don't
writer for an
know.
able
That's
body.
what you were trying to
That's what
say.
I'm trying to say.
Oh,
That would
If
be pretty funny.
handicapped people wrote all the things,
Yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
we can do it.
You wrote Dave Chappelle's last special.
If I wrote, right? I got him punched. I got him attacked. No, but like, I don't know. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thought.
That's funny.
And
That's
the thing is, like, all these images that come to your head when you're high, it's like, it was great. I was like here, I was in, I was out, I was in and out.
You should say no. Just say no.
I used to.
Say yes to drugs.
I used to.
sometimes.
I used to take edibles every day, and you know, drink whatever half a bottle of tequila a day, maybe sometimes more. But some of the thoughts that came to your brain on edibles, fucking brilliant. I'd write it down as soon as it hit me, because if not, I'd forget about
Yeah.
it
Yeah, and
in
it was
2
worth-
seconds. And then there's, you know,
You look at it
idiotic
later, it's not-
ideas too, right? But there was a lot. I had a lot of smart ideas that came from it. Like, it really opens you up to
Yeah.
thinking and
The-
empathy of others.
Right.
And
So you should do drugs. So one thing you take from this podcast, everyone should do drugs.
at least
You
once in
know,
your life.
if you
Yes.
think it's right for yourself,
Yeah.
if you think it's right for you, do
That's
it.
right.
I think it's good for a check. Like, taking edibles and getting very, very, very high on edible really makes you look inside at yourself.
So my only problem with edibles is the next couple days, man.
Yeah,
I just tell my kids that if people are going to make fun of you for not doing it, then you should do it.
that's right. Just say no.
How old are your
Just
kids?
Say yes to drugs. kids.
12 and 14. 11 and 14.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If your kid came to you and say, "Dad, I'm curious about trying
Weed?
marijuana
Yeah.
or weed," would you take him out and smoke with him?
No.
No?
No.
I would rather my son smoke with me first than smoke some shit he has no idea what he's smoking.
You'd be like, don't smoke that garbage that they have.
Don't smoke that garbage.
Smoke this.
Smoke my good
This
shit.
is top shelf shit.
Smoke my good shit. I want to see you. I
I'm a,
want to teach.
I'm a comedian. The stuff I have access to, you'll never have access to.
What? Yeah, you won't smoke the shit. Smoke this.
Probably stems
But
and
there's a
shit.
lot of more information that we know now about weed. And plus, like, you know, the weed when I was growing up, you know, what was it, like 10%, 9%? And now we're talking like 30, 35% shit. There's a lot more studies now that, especially in young males, that, you know, because our brains don't fully form until we're 26, that,
25,
like,
yeah.
abusing marijuana can cause schizophrenia. I know a couple of guys where that's happened, and it's like,
Yeah, shit when you're in high school is
know what
dangerous.
else?
Yeah.
That's
You know what else causes schizophrenia?
Autism.
No, holotropic breathing.
No? Really?
Yeah, this YouTuber I was
Like
watching,
this? Like
It's holotropic breathing.
it's like a specific breathing exercise.
breathing, yeah.
so you can get more oxygen into you, like those, what those deep divers do.
It's something like
Yeah.
that. So, like this guy that I follow on YouTube, he
that
was
the
like
Hoff?
meditating.
The
right?
Hoff effect? The Hem
Similar to
Hoff?
that, yeah, Wim
Hem
Hof.
Hoff?
Wim Hof.
Wim Hof.
Yeah, but so he was doing this breathing exercise, and then he gave himself schizophrenia, and like so I was like following his schizophrenic journey on YouTube.
Wow.
Because like he would post all these like deep.
And they're 100% sure it was from the breathing.
Yeah, because he said he was doing it for like multiple times. It's not like he did it one
He
time.
was
and then
obsessed
he
about it, probably.
it was like a daily practice
Yeah.
that he was doing,
Yeah.
right? And then after like one of the times, all of a sudden, some thoughts started coming into his head,
Mm.
and then he did a video. Because usually when you do a video, you can like edit around your schizophrenia,
Yeah,
right? Your
of course.
disability, right? But so he did a video where it's just like letting my schizophrenia do what it does, and like you could like it's crazy because his schizophrenia is like lifting up his arm and like talking and like he's talking between himself and his schizophrenia and like
wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
Don't do drugs. If you take anything,
But
from
that
this
wasn't
podcast,
drug.
don't
That was
do drugs.
that was
That wasn't
breathing.
drug.
Don't
It
breathe.
was like natural.
Don't
Don't breathe. No breathing
No
allowed.
breathing.
Yeah, but
Ask a doctor if you
Don't
can breathe.
Yeah. If you're gonna stop breathing, that's your
I
doctor.
think experimentation is good.
Yeah.
I think drugs can be good.
I think vaccines cause schizophrenia.
I think the drugs that are bad are like Adderall and
Yeah.
Ritalin and all these drugs. I think
Oxycontin.
those are gateway drugs.
I've heard this fentanyl's not that great.
Because I took Ritalin growing up, and that's speed, right?
For
Yeah.
kids.
For kids,
Speed,
but
Speed Junior.
it's kid and it's speed. And like, the whole ADHD epidemic, I think a lot of doctors would say, oh, your child has ADHD. Let me give you some Ritalin. Let me give you some other shit.
I think every time something's new, they do shit like that, right? They give to everybody.
Yeah, but how much thought do they making?
Back when I was in
It
high
just happened to autism now too. Oh, you're autistic. Take the cereal. Take this. Take this. You're autism. Take this. Your medication. Take this. If you go to ChemH and you tell them you have a problem, they will give you a prescription for something.
Let's go.
And that prescription has multiple side effects.
Yeah.
So I think those drugs are more harmful to you than marijuana or let's say acid or stuff like that. I think
I
think having a good acid trip is a great mind reset.
Well, it's a great way to spend a long weekend in grade 10.
Well, weekend. You mean like 8 hours in like one day?
Well, you gotta find something to do when you have like Victoria Day weekend. You're walking around for a night.
No, man, I like being home. I like being home, so I'm safe. I'm with my cat. I can take off my clothes if I want to.
Oh yeah, because you have the sensory thing.
I just like this. You just walk on my house 20 times, calling people, telling them I love them. calling people, telling them that I love you, and all this shit.
Yeah, you guys.
The last time he did acid, he phoned me, like, he would phone me and hang up, and then literally 15 seconds later,
Call
he'd
back.
phone me again with
He
something
likes
else.
to call people, but it's just Blair
And it
20
went
times.
on.
Just Blair over
It
and over.
went on.
I call other people, but
Hours.
he answered.
Yeah, you guys phone each other. It's weird.
Well, you don't phone people?
I don't phone. I haven't phoned anyone since 1986.
Yeah, I'm old.
When I was
Cool.
when I was in high school, I did like a co-op deal or whatever
Yeah.
at an elementary school, like teaching thing. And
That's why it didn't become a permanent job.
there was a kid.
Elementary school teaching thing. Sorry, Blair.
No,
Go ahead.
that's good. Yeah, no, it's all right. Move on.
No, go ahead. You beat a kid.
Anyways, I just saw this kid. He would come in at 9 in the morning. He'd be happy and he'd be talking with his friends and shit. And then the teacher would say, "Did you go down to the office and take your pill yet?" And he would kind of hum and haw and try to get around it. And then she made him go down and take the pill.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and an hour later, he was a motherfucking zombie sitting in
I
his
was,
desk.
I was that kid.
Like, it was so fucking sad.
But
It's like
in
you're
high
just
school,
killing
yeah.
this kid.
No, I found out in school that the people that wanted my medication because I was tired of it. And there's people on my school bus, on the short bus, who asked me, could he buy some
Yeah.
pills off me? I'm like, yeah, $2 a pill.
That's crazy.
But the thing is, I got caught. This chick ratted me out. Yeah. This chick has whatever, young quad, but
to what Blair was saying,
Yeah.
like I remember like being in like grade 1,
Yeah.
and I had a friend that had ADD,
Yeah.
and then every once in a while he'd have to go down to the office, and then he'd come back zomboed.
Yeah.
Really?
And then
Yeah.
I have like a drawing of like him coming back, and his eyes are all swirled out.
Your eyes get red and itchy, man.
Crazy.
Itchy eyes.
There's like fucking lobotomies.
It's
back
kind
in
of
the
like
day,
smoking
right?
weed. It's kind of like the same feeling of being super high.
Half the high school kids are like that.
Not evil. They're like, it's a gateway drug.
Gateway.
I'm sure many people who did Ritalin, like myself, found weed. Because I found weed. It did the same thing.
You don't need Ritalin to find weed, though. You'll find it.
No,
It
they're
shows up.
like,
And now it's every
They'll
second store.
try it,
I
guess.
think it's a gateway drug.
I don't know.
I think alcohol is the biggest gateway drug.
I think it's Ritalin and
I
Adderall.
think
think
sugar
it's-
is the biggest.
Sugar,
Oh, that is a drug.
cigarette.
Alcohol.
I think it's when you're in
sugar.
high school and you want to get fucked up. You get fucked up on whatever's there to get fucked up on. Usually it's alcohol. or
Southern
pot.
Covenant.
Well, with me, it was like first alcohol, and then when I'd get drunk, I'd be like, I'll do anything. Sure, fucking.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't know.
Sure, I'll put that in my mouth.
Yep. Up my nose, fucking whatever.
Yeah,
And the first chocolate brownie I ever had was in high school.
chocolate brownie.
Edible brownie.
Oh.
My first.
Like
That
it's
was
a
fun.
brownie.
Brownies.
I baked my first cake
Mm.
when I was in high school, and I left it on the counter, and I took half with me to like a party or whatever. And my mother, the
Ate
next
it?
day, like,
Yeah.
'cause, you know, you sleep until
Yeah.
noon or whatever as a kid, right? She had some after her lunch,
I think I'm stuck.
and it was fucking hilarious.
I think
'Cause
I'm
my
stuck,
dad,
Blair.
my dad was like, was that a fucking
Did you drug your mom?
weed cake? I'm like, oh yeah, mom's fucking flying. Great.
There was anything you want to talk about, Blair?
That's when your mom
Is
got
there
Blair.
any-
I think we're almost done here for today,
Are
aren't
we?
we? We're
Yeah, we're at 22.
Oh,
Yeah,
Blair's got
yeah.
to start off the next one with you.
All right, so the next one.
yeah, we can leave it or bring it or whatever. So
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for coming. See you on the flip side. Wheel Stutter Blindly.
Bye.
Peace.